I've been prepping and canning all season long, and today I am about to make some applesauce and can it up. So I'm going to take you on that journey with me. I'm here gathering my supplies for canning so I can get things started and sterilize those jars, lids, and bands while I'm making my applesauce. Now my choice size is half pint jars, and they are the wide mouth ones that I'm using for canning the applesauce. Let me grab some lids and band here, which I always have stocked up because I think it's safer to use brand new lids, ensuring that the seal is still intact rather than reusing, which can compromise the safety of your food. All right, now obviously I have to peel the apples, and this is a really helpful gadget that I use whenever I have to peel my apples together with my apple core here. So much easier than using a regular knife, which may just be the opposite for some people. But I'll tell you this, it saves me time. Quite frankly, it's just personal preference. I got my applesauce going here. I'm going to add a little more water to it to loosen it up a bit. And for the applesauce, I use 3 different varieties of apple. This one is an Evercrisp. This one is an Ambrosia. If you have never had an Ambrosia apple before, I suggest you try it if you're able to get your hands on it. It's sweet with a hint of caramel. All right, now the Motu apple here is more on the tart side when it's green, so I prefer to can them while they're green. It adds tartness, just as the Evercrisp here, because I use them on the greener side. But this Ambrosia here, it's really a dessert type apple. It has a sweetness with a hint of caramel, so it makes a really good mix. Now the applesauce is done, so I'm gonna just can them up. And if you look here, you can see in the jars I have a bit of lemon juice. It's just 1 teaspoon of lemon juice in each half pint jar here. This is the lemon juice I'm using, and it's recommended that you use bottled lemon juice versus fresh squeezed lemon juice. So I'm just gonna fill the jars in, and smelling this, I already want to eat some of it. But here I'm leaving at least a 1-inch headspace, because when this starts processing, and even though I'm using a hot water bath canner, it is going to be pressurized, and so the contents will expand. While I was preparing and making the applesauce, I had the lids and bands and jars in my hot water bath canner being sterilized, and that same water I'm going to be using it to process these jars. So here goes, all loaded up, and now I'm gonna not drop it, but I'm gonna gently place this basket in the canner, and once the water comes to a rolling boil, I'll count from that time, and I'll be processing this for 20 minutes. Now, as you can see, I have stacked these jars, and I'm gonna add some more water to it, making sure that it's covered at least 2 inches above the jars. And now this was processed for 20 minutes. I turn the flame off and let it sit for a little bit, and now I am going to remove the jars from the canner and sit them right here on the countertop on this towel to cool off for a bit. And sometimes I let it sit overnight on a countertop before removing the bands. And I also must mention that these were done finger tight. As you can see, it didn't take much for me to open this up. So that's how you want to do it. You don't want to do it too tight, because then that would create a false seal. And I'm mentioning that because I have done that before. And trust me, it only takes once for you to do it, because you won't make that mistake again. Or I should say, you shouldn't make that mistake again. And in this applesauce, it's only just plain apples. I did add some lemon juice like I showed earlier in the video, but it's just the 3 different varieties of apples that I used to make this applesauce. And if you listen closely, you can hear the jars sealing. That sound you just heard was a sound of another seal engaging. And I still have a bit of apples left. I may make some more applesauce because I want to keep some for a few months, and I know my family is going to be enjoying some of this applesauce. And I want there to be enough that I can save some for later on in a few months, and enough for them to have and enjoy right now. Now, there's a bit still left in the pot, but I'm pretty sure that that's not enough, because I'm ready to have some myself, and I know everybody else is going to want to have some of that applesauce. Now I'm going to label this with the date and the content of what's in it, even though it's obvious. But I just like to be kind of sort of uniformed and organized, and I try my best to do so. Now, after doing all this and processing this apple and canning the applesauce, I'm left with the apple skins. And what I'm going to do with this is make some apple cider vinegar, so nothing goes to waste. This is all for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next upload.